Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Have you ever walked into an elevator in a high-rise building and looked at the buttons? 10, 11, 12, 14. There is number 13. We are told this is because of superstition. Triskaidekaphobia, the fear of the number 13. Architects skip it to make tenants feel comfortable. But that doesn't make sense, does it? The 14th floor is physically the 13th floor. You can't just delete a layer of space by changing a label. Unless the floor is there. It's just not for us. It's a buffer zone. A crawl space for the simulation. A place where the geometry of the world doesn't quite line up. Today's story is about Sam, a gig economy delivery driver who was just trying to make a quick $5. He didn't believe in ghosts. He didn't believe in glitches. But when he stepped out of the elevator, he learned the truth. The 13th floor isn't missing. It's hiding. And once the doors close behind you, the buttons don't work anymore. If you have ever felt uneasy in an empty hallway, smash that like button. And if you want to know what happens to the people who go missing in office buildings, subscribe and ring the bell. Going up? The order. It was 11:45 p.m. on a rainy Tuesday. Sam sat on his moped, rain dripping from his helmet. His phone buzzed. New order, Burger King. Payout, $15 surge pricing, drop OFF, the Monolith Tower. Suite 1300. Sam frowned. $15 for a burger run? That was high. Usually it was a measly $4. He accepted it immediately. He picked up the greasy bag and rode to the Monolith Tower, a massive slab of glass and steel in the financial district. The lobby was empty. The security guard was asleep at the desk. Sam walked to the elevator bank. He checked the app, deliver to Suite 1300. Leave at door. Do not knock. Sam stepped into the elevator. It was one of those fancy ones with mirrored walls and touchscreens. He looked for button 13. There wasn't one. The screen listed 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Typical, Sam muttered. Suite 1300 must be on the 14th floor. Weird numbering. He pressed 14. The doors slid shut. The elevator ascended. Smooth. Silent. But as it passed the 12th floor, the elevator lurched. It didn't stop. Shifted. Sam felt a sensation of weightlessness, followed by a heavy vibration. The lights in the elevator flickered from cool white to a sickly, buzzing yellow. The digital display scrambled. The number 14 dissolved into glitchy pixels. Then a new number formed. A number that shouldn't have been there. 13, ding. The arrival. The doors opened. Sam expected a modern office lobby. Glass walls, abstract art, a receptionist. What he saw was beige. Endless, monochromatic beige. The walls were covered in peeling yellow wallpaper. The floor was covered in a thick, brown carpet that looked moist. The ceiling was a grid of buzzing fluorescent lights, some of them flickering with a maddening strobe rhythm. The smell hit him first. It smelled like ozone, stale coffee, and old, wet paper. Hello? Sam called out. Delivery? His voice didn't echo. The carpet absorbed the sound instantly. It felt like shouting into a pillow. He stepped out. He checked his phone. No signal. Great, Sam sighed. Just drop the food and go. He looked for a suite number. There were no plaques. Just endless rows of cubicles stretching into the distance. The geometry was wrong. The hallway seemed to curve slightly to the left, but no matter how far he walked, he never turned a corner. It was a spiral that looked straight. The employees? Sam walked past the cubicles. They were occupied. There were people sitting at the desks. Men in oversized gray suits from the 1990s. Women in shoulder-padded blazers. They were typing on ancient beige computers. The monitors were CRT blocks, glowing with green text. Click, clack, click, clack. The typing was synchronized. It sounded like the ticking of 1,000 clocks. Excuse me? Sam asked a man near the aisle. The man didn't look up. He was typing furiously. Sam looked at the screen. The man wasn't typing words. He was typing the same character over and over again. Forward slash 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 forward slash. Hey buddy, Sam tapped the cubicle wall. I'm looking for suite 1300. The typing stopped. The man turned his head slowly. His movements were stiff like a cheap animatronic. His skin was pale, almost translucent, revealing the blue veins underneath. His eyes were wide and bloodshot. Suite 1300? The man whispered. His voice sounded like dry leaves scraping together. There is no suite 1300. There is only the work. The work. We are processing the overflow, the man said. The data that doesn't fit in the world above. The lost seconds. The forgotten memories. We file them here. Sam stepped back. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go. You can't go, the man smiled. It was a horrible smile. Too wide. The shift isn't over. When does the shift end? The man looked at his wrist. He wasn't wearing a watch. Tuesday, the man said. It is Tuesday, Sam said. Not this Tuesday, the man giggled. The last Tuesday. When the heat death comes. Then we can clock out. The trap. Sam turned around. He walked back to the elevator. He pressed the button. Nothing happened. The button didn't light up. He pressed it again. He pounded on the doors. Come on. Sam shouted. The doors were sealed shut. There was no seam. It was as if the metal was a single solid sheet. Sam looked at the stairwell door marked exit. He ran to it. He shoved it open. He expected concrete stairs. Instead he opened the door and found another hallway. Identical to the first one. Beige wallpaper. Moist carpet. Buzzing lights. He turned back. The elevator was gone. The wall where the elevator used to be was now just more wallpaper. He was in the maze. Sam started running. He ran past miles of cubicles. He saw the same people. Or maybe they were clones. He saw a water cooler. The water inside was black and viscous. He saw a window. He ran to it hoping to see the city. He looked out. There was no city. No sky. Just a gray static void. Like a TV tuned to a dead channel. This isn't real, Sam hyperventilated. I'm dreaming. I crashed my bike. I'm in a coma. He stopped at a desk. A woman was staring at a blank screen. Help me. Sam shook her. How do I get out? The woman looked at him. She was crying but her tears were black ink. The manager, she whispered. You have to ask the manager. Where is he? She pointed down the hallway. To a door that looked larger than the others. It was made of dark mahogany. A brass plaque read, HR/retention. The manager. Sam walked to the door. He could feel a vibration coming from it. A low-frequency hum that made his teeth hurt. He opened it. The room was dark. In the center sat a massive desk. Behind the desk sat something. It wasn't a person. It was a tangle of wires, monitors, and server racks shaped vaguely like a human torso. On the head was a single old telephone. The telephone rang. Ring. Sam approached it. He picked up the receiver. Hello. A voice came through the phone. It was his own voice, but distorted. Older. Order unfulfilled, the voice said. The customer is waiting. I have the food. Sam yelled, holding up the bag. I just want to leave. Leave? The voice laughed. You just clocked in, Sam. You are new. We need you. The backlog is growing. I don't work here. Everyone works here eventually. This is where lost things go. You're lost, Sam. You missed your turn. You clipped through the map. Now you are an asset. The wires behind the desk began to move. They slithered like snakes towards him. Sam dropped the phone. He threw the bag of burgers at the wire monster. I quit. Sam screamed. He ran. But the hallway was changing. The hallway was stretching. This is a phenomenon known as non-Euclidean geometry. The harder he ran, the longer the hallway became. The cubicles blurred into a tunnel of beige. The employees stood up. They began to chant. Stay, 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 stay. They reached out with ink-stained hands to grab him. Sam dodged them. He saw the elevator again. It had reappeared in the distance, glowing with a red light. The doors were opening. But they weren't opening to a lobby. They were opening to a white void. Better than here. Sam yelled. He sprinted. The wire tentacles of the manager were crashing through the ceiling behind him, tearing the reality apart. The fluorescent lights exploded in a shower of sparks. Sam Duff. He flew through the air, crashing into the elevator car just as the doors slammed shut. Crunch. The sensation of falling returned. The numbers on the display flashed rapidly. 13. 0. -1. 99 error. 1. *** ding. The return. The doors opened. Fresh air. The smell of rain and exhaust. Sam crawled out. He was in the lobby of the monolith tower. The security guard was still asleep. Sam stood up, checking his body. He was shaking. He looked at his phone. The screen was cracked. The battery was dead. He ran outside to his moped. It was rusted. The tires were flat. The metal was covered in years of corrosion. Sam looked around. The cars on the street looked futuristic. Different models. Silent engines. He saw a digital billboard. It didn't show the date he expected. He had entered the elevator on November 4, 2025. The billboard read, March 12, 2030. He had been in the elevator for 5 minutes. But on Earth, 5 years had passed. Sam collapsed on the sidewalk. A drone flew down, a delivery drone. It scanned him. Unidentified citizen. Please clear the transit zone. Sam reached into his pocket. He found the receipt for the Burger King order. The ink was faded, but he could read a note scrawled on the back in shaky handwriting. It wasn't his handwriting. It read, "Thanks for the food. We will process your resignation in 70 years. HR." Sam looked up at the monolith tower. The lights were off. Except for one floor. Counting up from the bottom. 10, 11, 12, there was a gap. And then 14. But in that gap, in the darkness where a floor shouldn't be, Sam saw a flickering yellow light. And in the window he saw a silhouette. A man in a gray suit waving at him. Sam never delivered food again. He moved to a farmhouse. A one-story house. No stairs. No elevators. But sometimes late at night when the house is quiet, he can still hear the hum of fluorescent lights coming from the basement. And he knows deep down that he never really clocked out. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We ignore the missing numbers in our buildings. But maybe the numbers ignore us too. If this story made you check the floor buttons, hit that like button. Comment below, what is the creepiest liminal space you have ever visited? Subscribe. And take the stairs. Always take the stairs. Going down.